Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the more survivalists, and in this case answering another question that I got on Instagram regarding what firearm would I recommend for people that cannot have handguns. This is a case in some countries where the laws regarding what you can or cannot own change quite a bit, not all that different from the states in US, where one state has different laws from another. So worth looking into it. What is it that you can use if a handgun like the Glock that I have over there is something that you cannot have? Well, you have some other options. Of course, the more obvious one would be going with a small AR system, something that's a lightweight carbine. That would obviously be one of the first choices. And you have a bunch of other semi-automatic carbines that can be just as good or even better, but that would be one of the more typical, easier to find guns in most stores around the world. Now, if you're limited in that regard as well, maybe you have the option of a pistol caliber semi-automatic. That's sometimes an option in some countries. As always, the first thing you should do really is check your local laws, see what you can or cannot own, and in what conditions that would be applicable to self-defense, and stick to those regulations that you have locally. But many cases, you find that even though you cannot have an AR in a 5.56, 223, or other big bore rifle calibers, the pistol caliber carbines may be an option, and probably that would be what I would go for if that's not an option for me. Pistol caliber carbine that is something that's compact, lightweight, has a good amount of magazine capacity, and 9mm, 40, 45 ACP, 357 SIG with good quality ammo, making good use of that extra barrel length. Yeah, that's going to be a quite decent gun for self-defense. Yeah, you don't have the stopping power that you have in a shotgun, but you have the ease of shooting, and you have quick follow-up shots without the muzzle blast, without losing, blowing your eardrums, shooting a shotgun in a bedroom. All things that, at the end of the day, they kind of overcome the loss of stopping power from a shotgun. You have quick follow-up shots. That's going to be a big advantage in that kind of weapon. Now, if that's not also an option, you're basically stuck with shotguns. My advice would be the following. Get yourself a quality semi-automatic shotgun, best you can buy. Usually it's going to be like a Benelli. It's like an M4. I have an M1. It's a fantastic, beautiful shotgun, the M1. This is a Handgun. It's a very affordable shotgun, and I have it here because it is very compact. It's an ultra short model. I think it's like 14 or 13-inch barrel length. So yeah, the magazine capacity is going to be reduced. Usually with a shotgun, you don't really need that many rounds to stop a threat. But yeah, it's very compact, and Handgun is not Benelli, but at least in my experience, it's been very reliable. The first time I run a batch of shells, I put like 700 rounds through it. Anything that is 28 or above of weight in the shells that I'm using is perfectly reliable. So I know they have to stick to that weight, and most buckshot is definitely above. It's usually buckshot goes 32 grams of weight or above, so it's perfectly within that weight that I know is going to be reliable. Test it enough, stick to the ammo that works, and this is going to be a great weapon for you. It is going to be reliable, and you're going to be reducing the amount of potential problems that you're going to be facing with a pump action shotgun. A lot of people think that the pump action shotgun is the ultimate home defense gun. They really have no idea what they're talking about. It is a great gun. It is super reliable. The mechanism is as rugged as it gets. So that's all great about the shotgun, especially the pump action. That's a Mossberg 500. You can go with a Remington 870, some of the more classic ones. They're great guns for in the hands of police, law enforcement for decades. The thing is, though, a cop usually has a sidearm, so if anything goes wrong, he can fall back to his sidearm. That's not the case if that's not an option for you. And in this case, even though it's a great gun, still, it also requires a lot of skill in terms of working that pump between each shot. Every time you want to fire, you have to work a mechanism that you may end up screwing up. A short stroke when pumping, any kind of, or even an injury. You've been shot, you've been wounded. You're using your other hand to keep an attacker at bay, or someone is trying to fight you and trying to gain control over that weapon, and you're fighting with. Well, with the semi-automatic shotgun, all you have to do is just keep on pulling the trigger. Here, unless you're working that mechanism, it's not going to be doing what you want. So keep that in mind. Don't just fall for this, this common myth of, yeah, it's by far the best. The best thing is a pump action shotgun. It's good. It's a fantastic option. It is usually not the best. A semi-automatic that's worked properly, it's gonna be better, no doubt. And yes, of course, some of the other, like a short barrel carbine would even be better in my opinion. But yeah, those are all the options. I mean, you shouldn't be feeling unarmed just because you have a pump action shotgun. That is a fantastic home defense weapon, but it's gonna be requiring you to train and practice a lot. So as you have that working of the mechanism of the pump as instinctive, it's not even second nature. It's instantly for you. Every time you shoot, you work the pump, and that's the kind of thing you will require to get a proper class. Any gun you own, you need to get classes and training for it, but especially so with a pump action shotgun, and a lot more training than you may imagine. Guys, it's gonna be all for now. If you don't have actual training, you desperately need to get firearms training with a qualified instructor, someone that has a good reputation in the community, because there's lots of dangerous clowns out there and you want to stay away from them. Now, if you're not going to be getting, instruction from a qualified professional, I strongly recommend Street Survival Skills, where I share lots of the things that I've learned with good instructors over the years in different countries. And the stuff I share is the stuff that is common knowledge, wise things to keep in mind. Some of the basic techniques that have been proven to work well. I've heard the same thing from different instructors over the years, all over the world. There's a reason why they repeat the same things, is because it works. And also for people interested in economic aspects, Surviving the Economic Collapse would be that book available over there. Over 1,000 reviews on Amazon. Great for people interested in that. See you in the next video. Take care.